and we are actually live. All right, so for all those that were here a little bit early, let's see how this sausage was made and how I need a new computer.
The hamster's dead.
It's so dead.
That was a pre-show goof. We were just goofing.
Hello and welcome to Achievement Hunting 101. I'm FuFuCuddilyPoof and this is level 197.2. Joining me tonight is Vulgar Latin.
You ever get the feeling of deja vu?
KooshMoose.
Well, hello for the first time.
And Big L.
Hi.
Oh, God, you scared me, man. When you, shrugged, and I thought your microphone wasn't working, or you couldn't hear us or something. I was going to say, you got to be kidding me.
What'd you say?
Well, thank you, Corey, for picking a slack up.
Oh, by the way, it's time!
Very
Wow.
nice, L Buffer.
Those were my ears.
Thank you.
I want to make sure that amplify just that so that comes across to
Just
everyone else
blow
like it
out
was us.
everyone's speakers in their car.
I'll do that.
And we blew it so far, we may as well blow something else. Let's
Ew.
go.
Phrasing.
I want to talk about this cool topic.
Phrasing. Yes, let's get into our topics of discussion. For this week,
Thanks, Jables. Thanks, Toby.
the question is, what's the longest you've actively worked going for a skill-based achievement? Not talking about grindy achievements where it'll eventually unlock, but skill-based ones where you can unlock it immediately if you're good enough or at least lucky enough.
But thanks for FreakyRO for asking that. I didn't put that on there, but I stole it from him.
Good question, Freaky. All right, well, let's start with you, Vulgar.
Oh, gosh. I don't know if I have skill. Gosh. Huh.
You're selling yourself short.
Yeah, the only thing I could really think of was Super Meat Boy. I beat the Dark World on that.
Meat.
And that one, I felt pretty good about that by the time I got to the end of it. I still would like to 100% that game, but I don't know if I ever will. But getting up to, getting the A ranks, so basically speedrunning the normal versions of the level, and then beating those Dark World harder levels all the way to the end of that game was really fun. And took a lot of skill, and I'm glad I did it. So let's...
All right.
I'll steal a community one here, though. Ahizo says Mass Effect 2 Insanity difficulty. Counting the actual playtime and the length of time from the start to finish, I put in God only knows how much time just getting into the past the derelict corrector ship, and it took me 8 years to actually get around to it. Only a few years of that were even devoid of playing the game. I could brew it without trouble now, and I did not long after for the Legendary Edition. God, reading's hard. But for years, that one section was my brick wall to that series completion.
See, I never tried the difficulty or the insane difficulty run in Mass Effect 2, but I did in 1. It's not easy.
Some might call it insane.
Some. Not everyone, just some. All right. Well, for me, and who said it? Neo21 in Twitch chat right now, he said he gave the same answer that I did, and that is just Guitar Hero, Rock Band, being able to do the expert difficulty achievements. Took me a couple of years of playing the game a lot in order to actually complete to beat expert mode, especially in Guitar Hero 3. Raining Blood is no joke. That is a very difficult song.
Song in quotes.
It's we're not going to go on that. Nope.
Well, I mean, and then you realize how easy it is. 8-year-olds can play it on YouTube, but it's fine.
They cheat.
That's actually the funny thing. I was looking when I was looking on TA for this, I just arranged all my achievements from highest ratio to lowest. Figured, that give you the idea of the skill-based ones. And the highest music game achievement that I have is for scoring 700,000 on any song in a co-op match on Guitar Hero 3. And that actually wound up being a let's see, what's the ratio? A 4.24. And then as I was looking, I was seeing what other achievements, skill-based ones I have unlocked and on Guitar Hero. Beating the game on expert in just the expert difficulty is 3.48. I found that kind of interesting, considering that this is such a party game.
Yeah, but you're assuming that achievement hunters have friends.
Okay, fair point.
With 2 guitars.
Fair point. Yeah. Guitar Hero, Rock Band, doing all that in expert. I put a lot of time into that game trying to get those. On the plus side now, I'm really good at these plastic instruments that give me no real world benefit. All right. How about you, El? What game do you go for skill?
Hiding in the corner while you guys do everything doesn't count as skill.
No. Surprisingly, no. You are a good hider, though.
When it comes to achievements with skill, I always think about the Xbox Live Arcade games for some reason. There's a few that come to mind. One is, they're all notorious games. The Tony Hawk HD that everyone hated. I remember there was a couple achievements that were not easy. It won't let me remember which ones they are, but they were the ones where you had to
gaps. I think
go down a line and collect everything. Oh, that's what I did. Oh yeah, completing the projectives with one character, and then collecting all the pellets in one combo and Hawkman in the hangar. Yeah, those were the 2 pains in the butts.
Yeah.
So I can't tell you how long it took me to get them, but it's a type of achievement you would go for once or twice a day, or maybe a half hour a day, and then eventually you figure it out and you get it. And then, of course, those are the best ones to get. Your heart's pounding, your hands are sweaty.
Mom spaghetti.
And I enjoy those achievements the best. The other
actual achievements,
beloved XBLA game is TMNT Turtles in Time Reshelled, which was pretty much universally panned as a terrible port. There's an achievement for completing the game in survival mode that I tried many, many times. And I finally got it. It was such a great feeling, that fist-pounding moment.
Mm-hmm. Actual achievement, not like from the...
Yeah, actual achievements. So yeah, those are nice. Let me read some fun stuff from this Wookiee known as Chewy on Ice. He says, I'm not so good on achievements that require lots or even some skill, as Lego Head well knows. I'm more likely to give up in disgust after just a few attempts at something than persevere for hours at a time. Shoot 'em up seem to be my weak spot especially. Some of the supposed easy ones I've failed at and keep going back to every few months before, yes, giving up in disgust again quite quickly. Having said that, I did the Rain on Your Parade shmup level recently, and bolstered by that success, I went back and finally cleared Red Death and Task Force Campus, and did a bunch of stuff in Polychromatic that I kept failing on before. I still can't get through Zeroption, though. One day. So, that Rain on Your Parade shmup achievement that you mentioned took me a good couple of hours. It sucked. And I stayed up late one night to do it, and I just couldn't do it. And then, of course, the next day when I tried, I got it on my second try. It's just one of those.
I didn't realize there was any difficult achievements in Rain on Your Parade. I thought it was relatively easy.
No, the DLC, yeah, the DLC had some stuff. Had some stuff in it. It wasn't that bad. It's doable. But Zeroption Evasion, that's like a 5-minute completion, Chewy. I mean, come on. I mean, Red Death is that's the East Asia Soft, right? Where you just eventually you make your way through.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Don't really know Task Force Campus. Polychromatic, I think, is the Geometry Wars like. So I'm staying away from that. That involves real skill, Geometry Wars.
I will say, for Zeroption Invasion, I haven't completed it either. I actually completely forgot this game even existed. I have 3 achievements left, and I have no idea why I stopped on it. So maybe we're in the same spot, and and then I hit the same wall that he did and just gave up. Couldn't tell you. TA says I've only put 15 minutes into it, so I don't know.
Corey is saying I should know Task Force Campus since I am the East Asia Soft Ambassador. Yeah, that's one that slipped through my fingers, Corey.
No, that's the one with the cool boss fight at the end. If you go through, you don't actually have to fight it, but the final boss is actually really neat. I
Better
beat the game.
it.
Yeah.
And Michelle says, Rain on Your Parade had a glitch you could do early in its life that Corey and Elroy and Vulgar definitely took advantage of because they suck. But it was very easy even without it. You could put on speed mode, and the DLC, you couldn't cheat. You needed some skill, so it was good. It's a good game.
Somebody told me, and this was a surprise, that there was a second fire mode to Rain on Your Parade. Like, you could do lightning. Like, I didn't know you could do lightning, so I was just doing the regular shooting. Apparently, there's a lightning super weapon.
You mean one of the things you unlock?
No. In the shmup level.
Oh, you can use your lightning? Okay.
Yeah, you can use lightning.
I learned that about halfway through, and then it threw me off. It didn't really help me.
I learned that after I was done.
Yeah, it didn't help.
It doesn't help. Okay.
The shmup thing was mostly about hiding in the corner and then shooting a few things that you had to shoot. And it was
Sounds like
mostly the boss you had to deal with and a lot of running away.
And how about you, Nate?
Well, I'm going to read what Legohead said. He said the Melbourne time trial in F1 2013. That's a lot of numbers. I don't know what that is. It was my March BCM GOTM. Took me about 5 solid hours. Redoing the same lap much more years ago. I'm always happy to jump into a co-op skill-based achievement that I've already done if I still own it. I quite like these questions as you hear the answers and think that wasn't bad. I must be proper elite. But then no one mentions F1 2013, so you think maybe not. That was my British accent, just so you know.
Nailed it.
Oh, man.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Yeah, I'm not too into those racing games, especially if they require skill. I like my racing games with a whole lot of non-realism, jumping out of airplanes and racing down volcanoes. That's what I prefer.
I just don't know if I have to play the other 2012 F1 games.
Oh, there it is. Moving on.
Where does F-Zero fit in with F1?
I mean, I'm pretty proud of my Winter's Daydream achievement. I read it. I read the walkthrough instead of press A.
You press A quite a bit.
Just keep pressing it.
Actually, you didn't press A. Your nephew did. We know how this works.
This is true. This is absolutely true. I can't think of any skill-based things that I've really kind of struggled with, mostly because I tend to not struggle with them for very long. Titanfall 2 comes to mind. Titanfall 2 comes to mind. Like, I will go back and do that time trial at some point. But I probably want to beat the campaign before I go ahead and do that, because that'll help.
You haven't done the campaign?
No, I haven't finished the campaign.
Ooh, so good.
I got to a really cool level, and then there were like 2 Titans at the end of this battle I had to do, like in an arena, and I was just like, and then I got distracted by something shiny. You know how it is. So I do need to go back and do that, because I do want that completion. I do want to get that game. I like it, and not too worried about that. The only thing I can think of, and I'm sure there's something better, is Flappy Goat. I sat there and I played that stupid Flappy Goat for like an hour or something like that until I finally got it on one platform. And I said, before my brain forgets, before that muscle memory totally deteriorates, I'm going to go do it on the other 2 platforms, the 360 and the PC. Got it done in 15 minutes on each one of those. That's the only thing I think of. And I'm not proud. I'm not proud of that. But that's the only thing that comes to mind that I kind of just beat my head against.
Stupid Flappy Goat.
Even recently, and that's years ago at this point. So that's all I can think of.
Man, that Flappy Goat achievement, I'm pretty sure that that the stream I did going for that is up on YouTube. I know I spent an hour and a half, 2 hours on that stupid achievement. I couldn't get it.
Well, I'm anticipating that I will be doing something similar with the limbo achievement, the less than 5 deaths, or the 5 death limit. I want to do that, and I know that there's 3 versions of it, so I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to nail it, and then before my muscle memory evaporates, I'm going to go do it again 2 more times.
That's my plan. I'll be very impressed.
That is my plan. So,
the worst.
The worst game? Terrible.
The Goat Simulator's not that good. All right, I'm going to read one from Umplebeast. He says, I'm sure there's a bunch of games in my tag that I can't complete because of something skill-based, and I do go back and try to do it periodically. The goal is to eventually go back and get it done, but no need to bang my head against the wall for hours on end. I'm trying to move up the leaderboards and can't do that if I'm focusing on one single achievement for days on end. Have to keep it moving. I can see that. Leaderboard chasing is much better than just banging your head up against the wall on one game or one achievement or whatever. Not fun. Elle, would you like to read Wakapeil's?
Good old Waka. There's no game that he can't complete, right?
Of course not.
Nope.
Welcome to Waka's Weird Wonders. There are a few that come to mind. 2 that I've intended to try to unlock for ages, but not really put much time into, are the Grand Purpurba from Exec HD and Tactical Challenger in Vanquish. I'm missing the 1 million without dying from Geometry Wars after being completely demoralized after reaching 999,850 before dying. Oof. Got many hours in that game. Skill/luck-based achievement I did manage was Impeccable Craftsmanship from Eternal Return. I spent more than 30 hours attempting it before I finally managed it. It technically can be unlocked in 15 minutes from starting the game, but that is extremely unlikely. Despite being released in October 2021, I'm the only one on TA to have unlocked it.
Dang, nice.
I have a question.
Just because you can complete an achievement in 15 minutes doesn't mean that you will on the first try. There's trial and error and skill and muscle memory for all of this stuff. Or a lot of this stuff anyway.
When did Waka started sounding like Count Von Count from Sesame Street?
I mean, if you started at level 1 and worked your way through, it's just a gradual turn.
Man, I forgot
that was his audio
Hextech
that he
2.
sent in. I don't know what you're thinking of.
I forgot about Hextech 2. Yeah, the Grand Pearl.
Have a nice day, everyone.
That is the worst. Yeah, I remember going for that for a long time, trying to get that back in the 360 days. I don't know how anyone's able to get that.
Anyone else have anything to say about this cool topic?
Guess not.
Good.
Achievement items, right? Just go for the easy stuff. Who cares about the
Yeah, that's what I thought.
All right.
Well, thanks, FreakyRO.
Yeah, thanks for the question. If you have other questions too, like my brain's really running out of these things, so just let me know, please. I beg of you.
Well, patrons anyway.
No, I'll accept one from a non-patron if it slaps.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Patron's good priority anyway.
That's fair.
Corey, your question was under advisement.
Yeah. Nah, I couldn't accept rockers. It was pandering.
It did not slap.
It did not slap.
All right, let's get into a game showcase.
Not a Will Smith dated reference.
It has to cut. It has to
stop living in the past.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
All right, let's get into a game showcase. Up first, especially because I know Nate has been dying to talk about this. What you got, Nate?
Oh, yes.
Got very excited.
So May is just an amazing first week. There's just so much that I'm happy for. But we're going to start off with this because I can only do one. That is Bugsnax. Now, You don't know what Bugsnax is?
Which I don't. Let's just pretend
Rush right out. Bugsnax is essentially Island Saver / Slime Rancher meets Pokemon.
What a matchup.
Mixed in with just a tiny bit of a murder mystery, maybe, or something like that. It's got that murder mystery vibe. I don't know if there's actual murder per se, but there is definitely kind of a like a dark side to what's going on in this story. You play as a journalist, but you kind of look like a Sesame Street Muppet. Everyone's like a Sesame Street Muppet. The people, if you will, are basically Muppets. You play as a journalist investigating an island where grumbles, that's the people, if you will, are missing their exploration leader and the medic in the camp. And you're tasked with getting everybody that was in the camp, who have all kind of split off and gone their own separate way once their leader disappeared. You're tasked with getting them to come back to the camp and kind of living together back as a community. Now, the reason they're on this island is because of the Bugsnax. And what is a Bugsnax?
Yes.
Well, Bugsnax is neither a snack nor a bug. It has no organs. There's no organs in these things. They have no seeds. But they are just food. They're a food source that has no seeds and no organs. And
so it is a
okay. So I guess we're. Mm-hmm.
So it is a snack if it's a food source.
I guess so. We're just not supposed to feel bad about eating these. However, your main character is allergic to them. So you don't have to eat Bugsnax. You don't have to worry about that at all. Instead, what you're doing is you're going around solving quests for everyone else to make them happy, to make them come back to the camp, to make them get along. And you're basically doing fetch quests. You're going out, you're taking pictures of Bugsnax, you're catching Bugsnax doing weird things. And then you're capturing specific Bugsnax and feeding them to these grumbles. Now, when you feed a grumble a Bugsnax, there's a weird side effect where the Bugsnax that they've eaten will basically change the appearance of some part of their body, and you get to pick it. And there's 13 body parts on these grumbles, and there's an achievement for changing all of the body parts, augmenting them all with a Bugsnax. Doesn't matter which one. You can do a whole bunch of different ones if you want. There's actually achievements for mixing and matching certain combinations of Bugsnax, like fries, burger, and soda. If you do that, you get one achievement. And there's another one that I think has to do with ice cream. So like ice cream type Bugsnax. Now, the Bugsnax are adorable. They are basically animals made out of food. There's a crab that's made out of apple slices. There's a strawberry that runs around. Let's see, what else was there? There's a cheesy poof, a butterfly. So like a Cheetos. And
I'm not cheesy.
When you, and when somebody eats it, they have like a Cheeto on their arm. It's crazy. There's ribs, and then people have like these weird like saucy bones. Just it's bizarre. So it's pretty cool. There's the bad thing about the side effect is there's no way to undo it. So by the time you're done and you've progressed far enough in the story, everyone's just a horror show. They don't look like Muppets anymore, which I wish they did, because when they're all like, basically they're piles, they're compost piles. They look like compost. They look like leftover bits of meals, and it's disturbing. I really wish you could undo it, but you can't. The achievements, I kind of went into this a little bit. It's basically it's a mix of story based, a mix of combining different Bugsnax into a grumble. They're collectibles, so basically, get all the Bugsnax in this area, collect enough Bugsnax and donate them to this Bugsnax box. There's a couple different levels of achievement for that, and there's one missable. But it's not really a missable because it is basically for getting all of the side quests for every character done. And then if you go do the last mission, if you haven't done all the side quests, I don't want to go into any spoilers or anything, but you might not be able to get the best ending, I guess.
Multiple endings.
I don't know if it's the best. I haven't gotten there yet. I'm to the point where almost everybody is back in the little camp. site, but I still have 2 people to find. But according to this missable, if you complete the game and you haven't done that, when you go back in to play the game again, you'll start from just before that last mission, which will allow you to go through, do all the side quests, and then do that last mission again. So it's technically not what I consider to be a missable. And the thing that I love, there's an achievement for going behind a waterfall, and you pretty much have to do it. And it's fantastic.
My goodness.
Always check.
It was a pleasant surprise. I was tickled when I had to go do that.
See, that's a good
this game.
So you go chasing waterfalls.
Isn't that a southern thing?
Now this game is great. It's a lot of fun and it's very cutesy. But then they have like these little sound effects, and they have these little like horror nods. Like you're at a campfire and it's ghost stories, and all of a sudden like there's thunder or something. You're looking around and you have to go. They send you off to go get firewood by yourself, and it's dark, and you're like, okay, well something's gonna happen. They just have all these weird kind of horror nods, and I feel like something is going to happen at some point, and it's going to be kind of a twisted tale, but I haven't gotten to that point yet. Like I said, very kid-friendly. The Bugsnax are adorable and hilarious. Your kids, if you have them, will laugh at these. If you're a grown man-child like myself, you'll also laugh at them. Some of the mechanics are a bit hard to grasp. You get different tools that will aid you in your quest. To acquire these Bugsnax, you will get a deployable trap. So you can throw a trap out there. Well, actually, you set it down, you back up, and you push your little stopwatch, which will cause the trap to collapse. You then have 15 seconds to go collect the Bugsnax. There's a couple other tools. I just got the last one, so I now have the full tool set. They ask you to get some of these Bugsnax, and unfortunately, they don't give you a whole lot of hints on how to do that, and sometimes you have to combine the tools or use the tools on the tools to catch a Bugsnax, and that is not super intuitive. They don't kind of hint to you exactly how to do it, but at this point I'm about 6 hours in, and I've got a good feel for how the game works, so I feel pretty confident that this is a recommend for sure. I'm having a great time with it. But yeah, and go ahead, Kenny.
I was gonna say, I don't know if you said it or not. If you did, I'm sorry, I missed it. But it is Game Pass.
This is Game Pass. Yes, it was a day one on Xbox Game Pass. Now this was a PlayStation timed exclusive. It's now on Xbox. It's in Game Pass, and it came out this week, I believe, like a day or two ago.
Nice.
I see it's also on Game Pass for PC. Is there a separate stack?
I don't think so.
And you're talking about the what'd you call them? The grumbles, and how
Grumbles.
Oh, rumbles.
Mm-hmm.
How they change after you feed them the Bugsnax.
Yes.
By any chance, and maybe only Devin will understand this. Have you ever played Sonic Adventure? The second one, at least. I don't know if it happened in the first.
I don't think so.
That's like starting the Indiana Jones movies at number 4.
That's like
Absolutely not.
What? Wait, what?
So in
what?
Sonic Adventure 2, you have the Chow Garden, where in those you have the little chows, and as you feed them, like give them animals to increase their stats, they would actually take on the characteristics of that.
The VMUs
so as you were talking about this, I was thinking about that, and I very much adore that game. So
well,
that's
they
making me
don't
want to try this.
They don't get any benefit from that. So, like, if you give them a curly fry leg or something, they can't suddenly jump like they have springs on their feet. It's just how they look.
You just turn them into Cronenberg monsters.
Yeah. This is not a Kirby game.
Cronenberg, Rick.
Yeah, this is not a Kirby game. This is not a Boy and His Blob. It's none of that. It's only cosmetic. But like I said, they're horror shows by the end. By the time you've given everybody like 6 of these things, they just look like compost heaps. It's kind of gross. I wish I could undo that, but I can't. The nice thing, though, is everybody has a distinguishing feature that would allow you, when they are just complete trash heaps, they each have a unique feature. Like there's one guy that has a mayor slash. There's somebody that has like a farmer hat. Another person that has like movie star glasses. So that's how you're gonna be able to tell who they are besides their name being there. But that'll be the one thing that you can't change about them that'll help you kind of tie that back to the first time you saw them. Yeah, it's a fun little game. Like I said, they've got little puzzles for how you get each Bugsnax. They have puzzles for solving the missions. It's just a fun little game. I'm not really sure how long it's going to take. I feel like I'm probably at least a third of the way through it, if not halfway, at about 6 hours.
TA's saying 15 to 20, so.
Well, that sounds about right. If my maths, that sounds about right.
It's got a 4 on TA, so. Yeah, it seems like a lot of people are liking it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess I'll go next since I'm next in the script. And
There's
game
script?
Doc script, whatever you want to call it. And the game I'm going to talk about is Mortal Kombat 11. So I've been playing.
Whoa!
I've been playing this game a decent amount the past week, and there's two things I've realized quite quickly playing this. Number one, I'm not very good at fighting games. As much as I love fighting games, as much fun as I have playing these games, I'm not good at them. Number two is playing through the story mode. There is a lot of lore, and there are a lot of names being thrown out, and I don't have any idea what is going on in this game.
Have you played the other, like Mortal Kombat 9 or 10? Or did you just start at 11?
So, this is the first story mode that I've played in Mortal Kombat. Like, I've played 9, 10, and maybe 2 back in the day, but it was always just, we just play each other, just local, matches. That's all I've ever done in these games.
Huh.
But yeah, playing through the story, never did that. I know the characters. I had some idea that, like, some of them, okay, I just assume you're a good guy. Some of them, you're a bad guy. And then I jump into this game, and yeah, I have no idea what is going on. It is wild. I mean, it's cool. The one thing I wasn't really expecting is really long cutscenes, and like the story, it looks really good. It's a really good looking game.
I would highly recommend then, like 9 and 10 have just as in-depth stories, and 9 was when they really started turning the page on their story modes, and 9's a soft reboot, and it will make a lot more sense.
I had no
what's
idea
going on. Yeah.
See, I just assumed every single one of these was just like its own contained story. I had no idea that it went from one to the next.
Every Mortal Kombat game is canon, and they all happened, but 9 is where they started fresh, and they did some time trickery to reset it back to the start of the first 3 games. So that's why people might think that, but yeah, that's the 360 one. This is Mortal Kombat 9, or Untitled Mortal Kombat.
I did play that one because that was the one with Freddy Krueger in it.
Yep.
And it was so much fun to play.
Yeah, Freddy Krueger, and if you had the PlayStation, Kratos was in it as well.
I did not know that. That's cool.
Oh.
Yeah. And they've gone overboard with the DLC characters as of late.
Oh, come on now. You don't like the DLC characters?
No, I love them, but like they're overboard.
They're not overboard.
Like, they're awesome, but like,
I'm here for it.
You know, Leatherface is cool and all, but I just don't think he belongs in Mortal Kombat.
I don't know. I think the Terminator fits in perfectly.
Terminator's cool. He's good. Rambo's good.
If you have a gun, it shouldn't count.
What shouldn't count? You don't like having all the 80s action stars in here?
No, if you have guns, it seems unfair.
Yeah.
Like Stryker?
Yeah, there's guns in there.
Yeah,
Stryker
well, he
had a
mostly
gun.
used his nightstick. Come on.
No, not when I played him.
Oh.
Speaking of guns, that was one of the things. Like, I'm playing through the story, and then all of a sudden I come across some McCree from Overwatch character that has like an actual what's
Aaron
it called?
Black.
Sure.
He's a cowboy. He's a cattleman repeater.
Repeater. That's the word I was looking. That was the word I was looking for.
I love Aaron Black, mostly because I like cowboy characters in my video games.
Yeah, I mean, like, the game is fun. I am really enjoying it all. The fatalities are as disgusting as ever. Like, my God. And some of these things, man. I was actually going to play the fatality videos while we talked about the game, but I don't know if they're allowed on Twitch. They might have pushed it overboard. I have no idea. I don't know what the rules for when it comes to violence on Twitch is. Yeah.
Dunable wants us to bring back Boraicho. I know him in Mortal Kombat. He was the drunk dude in Deadly Alliance and Deception. Drunken Monk.
Sure.
Yeah, I've spent a long time playing these games.
Well, that's one thing. I'm actually glad that you're here because I did see that you basically have this game complete.
Yeah, I just didn't do the tutorial.
Which is, I find that hilarious. And I also want to know why. Why haven't you gone back and done the tutorial just to get the completion?
The tutorial has a lot more like in-depth stuff with the combos and stuff that I just don't really feel like doing.
Laziness.
That's it. Yeah, I just couldn't be bothered. There used to be a glitch in it because there's an achievement for putting a head on a spike in the crypt area with a K. And you used to be able to glitch the whole thing out so that you could get all of them, because otherwise you have to play through a specific character a ton to unlock that. And I cheated and I got all of them like before they patched it.
Yeah, I tried to use that glitch. I was hoping it was still active. Because another reason I picked this game up is the youth group that I help with. It's a bunch of teenagers and usually play Smash Bros there. Well, some of the kids are like, they're too old for Smash Bros or whatever. So I'm like, well, maybe they'll like Mortal Kombat. So I tried to play this and I saw that glitch and like, I'll unlock all the characters real quick.
No.
So I'll have to actually manually go through and try to do all this.
Yeah, no, it's still a really fun game though. I think that they've really upped their game, especially in the story. I think as much as fighting game stories in the past haven't mattered, Mortal Kombat has really tried to elevate it.
And we just lost Elle.
Elle just can't handle Mortal Kombat.
Did you ever check out the spin-off games?
Shaolin Monks, or are you talking about like Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero or Mortal Kombat Special Forces?
Yeah, those ones. I thought they were supposed to be more like side-scroller, but it looks like they were just fighting games. Maybe it was Deception.
Deception's a standalone title. Mythology Sub-Zero is a trash platforming game because Midway did not know how to make a platforming game, so they just gave Sub-Zero all of his fighting moves, and you have to do the special moves like he does in the game, and you have to have a dedicated button to turn around.
What?
Yeah.
This is what happens when you take fighting game developers and you tell them, hey, do a whole different genre.
Yeah, and do it in 14 months. We need it done. We need it done by then. By Mortal Kombat 4. We need it done a month before Mortal Kombat 4.
Man.
So that one, and Special Forces wasn't very good. But Shaolin Monks, though, if you have a PlayStation 2, you go play Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. It's the beat 'em up, like the character beat 'em up, where you get to play as Liu Kang and Kung Lao. Oh, it's sick.
It's kind of like God of War because it looks. Yeah, it's reminding me of God of War.
It's very much in the vein of God of War, but you can do it cooperatively, and then if you can unlock Scorpion and Sub-Zero if you'd like to play as them, and it goes through the plot of 1 and 2. So I think mostly 2. Yeah, mostly 2.
See,
gotcha.
I barely remember that. I was so young at that point.
I'm a bit of a fan of Mortal Kombat.
I can tell.
Yeah, not like Isrit level, but I like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, like it's good fun. Like most fighting games, where you can kind of just play them at your own pace or whatever. Although some of them, I take that back, because some of these things, like if you don't play them for a while, you completely lose all your combos and forget what's going on.
Yeah, well, thankfully the movesets for a lot of these characters have stayed relatively the same for years. So,
okay,
Oh, and if you're interested in other Mortal Kombat side stuff, Corey, when he was still a podcaster, and I did a whole thing about the movie.
Oh,
so
right.
if you're a patron, that's a Patreon exclusive.
I forgot you guys did that. I didn't want to watch it because I didn't listen to it because I actually want to watch that movie.
Did you ever watch the movie?
I did not. Because quite honestly, I forgot it came out. I'm terrible at watching movies. There's so many movies I haven't seen.
Exactly.
So it's just like another one of those movies that's in the backlog, and I know Brooke has absolutely no interest in it, so it's something that I have to watch on my own, and it's going to be a while before that happens.
She makes you watch The Bachelor.
Pretty breezy thing.
She does not make me watch The Bachelor. That's the show she puts on when she wants me to leave the room.
He watches The Bachelor of his own accord.
The Bachelor is like the show that as soon as it comes on, I gotta get up out.
You get so invested about who gets the roses.
Yeah, I gotta get real close to the screen.
Yeah, all that stuff. Hey, I'm always close to the screen, but that's just because I can't see.
Sonya gives the kiss from a rose.
All right, that's enough of Mortal Kombat. Let's go on to the next one. L, what game are you talking about?
Oh boy. Hopefully my internet holds up. I would like to talk about another Game Pass game called Kill It With Fire. I'm pretty sure Rocker Dude talked about this game when it first came out in February of 2021, but it came into Game Pass late last year, so I wanted to hype it up for anybody who never got around to playing it. It's been a long time since I actually just had a great time playing a game. It's shocking, I know. It is a first-person, I guess you can call it a first-person shooter. It kind of looks like Bugsnax, actually. You start off with a clipboard, and it gives you your objectives. And the strange thing is that you actually have to find more objectives. So you'll have to find little notes scattered around whatever map you are on. And as you go, you get different weapons. And, you're getting guns, and you're getting all kinds of different things to kill spiders with. And then you get a radar gun where you could find them. So as you go, you just get more and more stuff. And the great thing about this game is that if you miss any of the objectives, there's a chapter select. You can go right back in, and everything you did saves. Every objective you get an upgrade point. So you can upgrade your radar gun, and you can upgrade yourself. Better guns and better stuff. Yeah. So if you're looking at it right now on Twitch, it looks like a first-person shooter. And because it looks like a first-person shooter, you don't know how many times I try to reload when there is no reload. And I wound up hitting the Y button,
of course,
of the inventory. It's just force of habit, I guess. But this game is worth over 2,000 TA because it's in Game Pass, but it's really not a hard completion. Each stage has something called an Arachno challenge. Once you do all the objectives, you have to kill all the spiders within a certain time frame in different ways. And eventually, the last stage has the ultimate Arachno challenge. There are collectibles in the form of batteries, which I don't know why, but it tells you how many you have out of how many. But as you're playing, sometimes they get blown up and blow around, and you can't find them. So sometimes reloading actually helps. So what I did is I played through normally, and then I went back with a video to clean up the batteries. But if I had known, I might not have done that, because towards the end of the game, you get something that tells you where batteries are on the radar. But I did not know that. But the guide I used was from Cheetah Guide, who did a very good video.
What's your favorite weapon so far?
I just want to say, except one thing, he kept calling the Arachno challenges Arcano challenges. It drove me a little crazy. Like, dude, they're not Arcano challenges. Stop it. My favorite weapon. I mean, towards the end, you get an RPG, and you can get infinite ammo, and you could just go crazy with it.
Oh yeah,
so, yeah. If a challenge is giving you trouble, you just wait till the end when you can get infinite ammo, and you could just go back and do anything that you missed. There's 8 or 9 different stages that are all different fun tasks. If you read, if you go into, you could read about each weapon and each spider, and there's just fun stuff. The achievements are interesting. There's a tiny mode where you're basically the same size as a spider.
That sounds horrifying.
Yeah. There's a couple of tricky ones, like no scoping a spider with the assault rifle. Basically, you just have to go around in a circle and keep shooting and hope you hit one. But what you have to do is you put down like cheesy puffs. Yeah, I want some cheesy puffs. You put those down, and then the spiders get attracted to them, and you have just a good old time. Anybody who's never played this game, I implore you, get it on Game Pass. TA says 4 to 5 hours. That's pretty accurate. The videos on YouTube are 1.5 to 2 hours, but 4 to 5 hours is about right.
All right.
It is also on PC Game Pass. But I want to say one of the achievements has said, do not play this on PC because you have more to do on the PC. So just play it on the Xbox.
Interesting.
Yeah. But all in all, just a good time.
Well, not playing it on PC, that's at least a good tip.
Yeah, I don't know why, though. But yeah, I got the completion, and I miss it. But there's nothing to go back and do, really. So hopefully there's a sequel comes out or something.
Kill it with fire again.
That was
Continue
Big L's
to kill it
tips.
with fire.
Thanks, Echo. Kill it with fire. Yes, you get a couple of weapons get fire. There's a Molotov, which is standard, but then there's also a hairspray you could use. Good old times. Good times. You find those in the bathroom. Of any bathroom has hairspray that shoots fire, right? I keep that around for spiders.
Yeah.
Hope you would.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. All right, it's now time for the main event.
Yeah.
Vulgar Latine.
All right, Devin. What game you got? Assuming this is a game, not just some fever dream of a title.
Oh, this game's awesome. Turnip Boy commits tax evasion. This is a Game Pass game. It's hilarious.
What a time.
I love it. I fell in love with this game. I started playing it just for the title. It is, I guess you'd call it like an action adventure. It reminds me of kind of like a Zelda in like how you move and fight. But you are a anthropomorphic turnip. You got to notice that you have to pay your back taxes or you get evicted from your greenhouse and you promptly rip it up. And then the mayor comes and evicts you from your greenhouse and you have to work for the mayor to pay off your tax debt. It's hilarious. It is. Oh man, I was laughing every time. If you do this, you gotta talk to everybody, because the dialogue is great. All the wacky other fruits and vegetable characters that you meet are really funny. And there's a running gag that Turnip Boy hates documents, and it continues to get funny. Like at first it's funny, and then you're just like, what else is he just gonna rip as he continues to get these documents? And they just keep getting more and more and more silly every single time you just rip up the document. You don't need, I wouldn't say that you need a guide or anything. You could, I guess, if you really wanted to. But there is a area at the end of the game that will tell you everything that you missed. You can get hats. Why not? And if you're really terrible at the game, or if you really just aren't feeling it, there is assist modes that'll make you invincible or give you 3 times damage. I never used them.
Whoa.
Yeah, I didn't have to. The game is very straightforward. It is not that hard. There was one boss I considered using it, but just decided against it. But other than that, it's 2 to 3 hours. The biggest problem with it thus far is that there are 2 unobtainables on the Xbox. If you play it on Windows, you won't have those. I imagine they'll get past patch soon. Yeah, they work on Windows. They don't work on Xbox.
Weird.
Sorry.
Did you wind up getting them?
No, I'm just waiting.
You're gonna wait?
There's no rush.
Start over probably, right? I don't know.
I'd have to start over on Windows. The save doesn't go over. And if I did that, I would probably just go through and put blast through on
loan.
Yeah.
That's great.
But otherwise, I highly recommend it. It's a standout favorite of mine for the year. So, yeah, play it. It's 2 to 3, like I said, 2 to 3 hours. And I think there's a roguelike mode after where you can play it and fight all the bosses again, and it'll give you little upgrades and stuff. So you can continue to play it if you really, really like it. Yeah, Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. It's not just a great title.
It's relatively new, too. It came out last month.
A couple weeks ago.
3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I actually played this while I was on vacation. It was one of the few games I could play.
Yeah.
And I played it on the PC, so I didn't have any of those issues. I got the full completion. And I did do that endless dungeon mode.
Mm-hmm.
And really the only thing you can do from that, as you keep playing, you can pick, it's kind of like a little roguelite. You can pick like little different bonuses to yourself. So like when you kill something, you'll get a little bit of health back, things like that. And after you kill every boss, you get some tokens, and you can use those tokens to buy even more crazy hats. So that's really the only benefit to going farther.
You can, like I said, you can if you want. There is some replay value.
And you do have to play that for an achievement or two.
Yeah,
so.
But you don't need all the hats. I was afraid that I would need all the hats, but you don't need those hats. You just need the ones.
You don't need those hats.
Yeah,
correct.
But yeah, there's some fun wordplay, especially with like a tier 3 sub. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And a lot of go around, talk to everybody, and eventually you'll get all the achievements. Don't even worry about it. It's very, very easy and a lot of fun. And I don't want to spoil any of the gags. Like they're that good. And it's 2 hours and you have it on Game Pass. Just go play it.
Sounds fun.
So I see one achievement that Knopf would hate. The waifu achievement for destroying a waifu.
Bless you.
Oh, yeah, you do. It's great.
We all picked Game Pass games.
We did. I was going to notice that. Yeah.
And they're all family friendly. And they're all family friendly. Oh, good job, Kenny.
What's wrong with Mortal Kombat 11? It's family friendly.
It's fun for the whole kids.
I guess
I'm literally playing it at a church. It's okay. There's no big deal there.
You have a wafer in one hand and control in the other.
All kinds of metal stuff happens in church.
All right. Yeah,
we won't
Game
go
Pass
there.
is awesome. That's why we picked Game Pass games.
Game Pass is awesome.
It's hard to actually buy games nowadays because Game Pass has so many good games on it.
Game Pass is really good, Kenny.
I can do it. Challenge accepted.
Unless you're like Nate, who has a bunch of games that he's going to recommend.
I promise, Game Pass is good.
Game Pass is that the official stance of this podcast is that Game Pass is good.
It's good.
Pretty
Definitely
good.
Not trying to Game Pass away. Oh, I haven't said anything like that in a while.
It has been quite a while.
Wow. Up my
Usually we
game.
do sales, and I was saying that, but I guess we can skip.
No,
the
but
Game
we don't
Pass,
have to do sales because
since you really want me to talk
Game
about
Pass
Game
is so
Pass.
awesome. All right, so wait a minute. You just want me to say Sailgate, don't you?
That's not what I said before.
Fine, we're segueing into sales. I'm glad you asked. Go ahead, Big L. Thank you.
Sure,
I'm going to recommend.
Go for that because I didn't set up.
I'm going to recommend.
Just oop it to yourself. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, go ahead, Al.
I am. I'm taking this over. I'm punch drunk right now. 99 Vitas. Do you know what Vitas means?
It's like
Excellent.
a PlayStation?
Great.
lives.
It means lives. Very good. So 99 Vidas is a beat 'em up game in the vein of Streets of Rage. I believe it has 4-player online co-op, and it is on sale for $5. And I need people to play this game with me. So someone please buy it and say, Big Al, I will be glad to play this game with you. I know you are awesome and you need help. So yeah, 99 Vidas. Check it out.
I'll buy it and we'll be living La Vidas Loca.
Nice, very nice.
So
it looks like a bunch of co-op games are on sale this week. I don't know if they did this on purpose. There's Farm Together, which I would like to play.
Yes.
I'm still a little confused how it is 150 to 200 hours and so many people have it completed. I know you can go into someone's farms for some things, but I'm not really sure how so many people have it completed with that time estimate.
Well, maybe you should.
I think that people have.
It's a slightly addicting game. I think people actually play it for a good amount of time.
Yeah,
there's something to that. They're growing something on that farm's a little wacky. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean. What do you mean? By the way, Farm Together is, I believe, $11.99 down from $20. There was another one that I'd never heard of that caught my eye called Let's Cook Together.
Okay, I was wondering if you're going to talk about this game.
Yeah, what is that one about?
It's listed as Party, but someone should talk about this game. I don't know. But it's $3.89 down from $12.99. Did you play this game, Vulgar? That's what it's.
No.
You're okay.
No, I have no idea what it's about at all.
Like we were talking in that L. We know this game, L.
No, I don't.
It's $3.89 down from $13, and Elroy has it on his tag. That's no surprise, but I don't know. Sounds fun. Let's cook together, people. Farm together, cook together, and lawn mow simulator together. Let's do it all.
Let's do all the things together.
Apart.
I like it.
All right. Devin, what game are you going to recommend?
I'm going to recommend Operation Tango. That's $10.99 down from $19.99. I believe this was talked about on the podcast. I think Rocker and Mr. Moose did that.
Yeah, we did a little stream too.
Yeah, and it's great. I've completed it, and I think it is wonderful. It is an asymmetrical co-op game where you do secret agent stuff. One person's an agent, the other person's a hacker. It's not a very long game. They added a free DLC that added like a challenge mode, and that's not too bad either. But I'd highly recommend it.
Yeah, that game looks really interesting. I totally forgot that was a thing.
And maybe we'll stream it some more because we need to go back and finish it.
Yes.
And might as well do it live.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Nate, what are you recommending?
On the calendar,
Well, I am going to... Don't look at the calendar. Don't trust the calendar.
What calendar are you talking about?
Do not trust the calendar. I'm going to talk about a couple games. There's Enter the Gungeon, which is $7.50 down from $15. This is its lowest price ever. It is leaving Game Pass on the 15th, but more about that later. Basically, we're just going to tell you it's leaving on the 15th. It is a roguelite shmup. If you're into that, it's a good one. Then there is Them Bombs. $3.04, down from $8.69. Also nice. The lowest. This is a puzzle game where you're attempting to disarm them bombs. And it's about 1 to 2 hours. There's no guide or anything, but if people are doing it 1 to 2 hours, I guess it's not bomb surgery. Then there's Ashen Definitive. Sorry.
Bad, Nate.
Sorry. Well, maybe you'll edit it out.
No, it's staying out.
Nope.
Out. Then there's Ashen Definitive Edition. This was in Game Pass. I didn't play it. I wanted to. It's $15, meaning, and down from $48. This is the lowest price ever. It does include the DLC. It has 1,137 gamer score. The traditional 1,137 gamer score. Yep. It's an action RPG/RPG. It looks really cool. I've heard people talk well about it, but it was too long to play. I don't know. Maybe I wasn't playing Game Pass games. I wasn't chasing those completions. But check it out. I think it's a good deal. And finally, a super interesting game if you are one to look at the sales and just kind of click on everything that you don't know what that is or that's a game. Maze Mysteries, MAY''S, not Maze, as in Maze Runner. Maze Mysteries, The Secret of Dragonville. This is $9.74, down from $15. This is the lowest price it's ever been. It's a puzzle game. It looks a bit like a collectible card game mixed with Professor Layton-ish puzzles. So that's where the puzzle element comes in. A fun fact about this game, it is completely unobtainable. Every achievement is unobtainable. But Vudix, who works with developers and publishers, and he does a great job of that, he has related back to us that the developer has roadmapped a fix for late April, early May, which is nowish. So there's a chance.
But I heard it's going to be
there's a chance that it will be fixed. There's a chance that it may be delayed. There's a chance it may never happen. So this is really exciting. If you'd like to get in on the ground floor of a game that you have a chance of completing before anyone else getting that number one, it's $9.74 down from $15, and good luck. But I think it looks like an interesting game, and I am tempted. So
50% chance either it gets fixed or it doesn't.
60% of the time it works 100% of the time.
That's just math right there. How can you beat those odds?
Then when you add Kurt Angle into the mix? Anyway.
The sacrifice. Wait a minute, that was Watchmen.
All right. Well, it's a new month, and we got new Games of Gold lineup for the Xbox One available.
Oh, those are good too.
1st to May 31st. I am going in order. We have a set order. It's been like this for the past 90 episodes.
15 years.
First game available now is Yoku Islands Express. This was the pinball one, right?
Yes, the pinball Metroidvania. It is fantastic.
This was a lot of fun. Yeah, definitely you're going to want to download this, try this out. This was on Game Pass probably 2 to 3 years ago at this point. It's been a while. This game was a lot of fun. And then also on Xbox One, May 16th to June 15th, The Inner World, The Last Wind Monk. I know nothing about this game, but it's an adventure point and click, so it can go to hell. Who cares?
Whoa.
And it's Wind Monk, so it's practically Avatar, right?
Maybe Legend of Korra. I wouldn't say it's an Avatar game. It is point and click now. On the Xbox 360 side, we have Hydro Thunder Hurricane available from May 1st to 15th. And then May 16th to the 31st, we have Viva Pinata Party Animals. Didn't we already get Hydro Thunder Hurricane?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think we're running out of 360 backwards compatible games that people are willing to give away.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, this isn't the best month. Or this isn't the worst month. There's definitely been worse here lately. Yoku Islands Express is a solid game, so.
Yeah.
But either way, they're free, so that's all that matters. There's a couple of games there that I didn't have access to before, so just build that digital backlog. All right, so now we'll get into Game Pass L.
In contests.
Not yet.
Oh.
All right, so available, let's see, what's today? Okay, available now if you're listening to this in audio, available in 2 days if you're listening to this with us in chat. Citizen Sleeper and Trek to Yomi is available. Then we have this War of Mine Final Cut on May 10th. Daggone Danger.
Here we go again.
What is with all these really long names? Dangan Rompa? Yeah, I know I butchered the hell out of it.
Nailed it.
I know I butchered that one, and I'm just gonna leave that for there. That word.
You're not done. There's still more title to go.
I was getting there. Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair Anniversary Edition. What a title. Also available May 10th. Eludin. Oh shoot! How Michelle? I knew she was excited. Whatever.
It's brilliant.
Chronicle Rising, also available May 10th.
She's totally not raging right now. It's great.
I totally just. Oh man.
I would pronounce it like it was Ryudu. You did.
Thank you, Michelle. She's in chat. Man. Oh yeah, it's on now. Yeah, looky there. Hey, just because I got new glasses doesn't mean I'm just not still half blind.
We've got one more chance to get that one right next week. We'll see.
NHL 22 is available on the 12th.
I think that's actually NHI. I'm mixing it up too.
Oh my goodness. Floppy Nights is coming May 24th. And then Sea of Thieves, the Shroud of Deep, which is some DLC or something like that, April 21st to May 12th. So yeah, it's Game Pass news. And then with that, we also have a couple of games that are leaving Game Pass.
Scroll down more.
Huh? Scroll down.
Anyway, leaving Game Pass on May the 10th. Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about either, man. I think he's just derailing this.
Me neither.
I don't know either. I just scrolled down. I thought there was more games. I was like, why was it put there? But yeah, leaving May 10th, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. That was fast. And then May 15th is Final Fantasy X and X-2 the remaster. Enter the Gungeon, Steep, The Catch, The Wild at Heart, and Remnant from the Ashes.
It's more than a couple, Kenny.
Those are some pretty good ones.
2.
A couple could mean
no, 2.
A couple different things.
2 different things.
But yeah, that's a decent amount of games and a couple of big ones that are leaving. But, and as always, just as a reminder, if any of these games you want to play and you're not going to have time, you can download them now for 20% off. Or buy them now for 20% off, I should say. But yeah, that's Game Pass news. Now we're going to get into contests, though.
All right.
So
G-Task is over.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
I got this, Bubs.
He's got it.
I'm excited. Our community killed it. In G-Task, which is the what used to be the year-long True Achievement Difference competition. Was it 6 months now? We just had the finals. And the top 3 teams are all comprised of community members, or more or less. So in third place was Three-Legged Frog in a G-Task kicking contest. Very nice. That's Black Blood and Android Onetnin, my good buddies, but they're everyday achievement people, and Inigo Montoya. And what was their total? 217,934 TAD.
Wow.
In second place, The Cake is a Lie 5 preloading, Nutty Ray, Morbid 237, and Ross. Oh no, pardon me. The TA difference in third place was 104,719. Second place was 137,311. And in first place, destroying everyone with 522,429.
How much?
The team of, you heard me, 522,000 TA difference amongst 3 people.
Holy
Infamous,
preloads.
Prism, Scrollock, and Jimbot. We'll be nice to him this time and say he's in the UK. Otherwise known as, is this team casually winning? So they are taking home the grand prize of a hoodie. I want to say hoodie.
Wow.
And the top 3 people on that team also were the top 3 people in individual.
Go figure.
How about that?
Who would have guessed?
So they're going to get, like, I don't know, 2 hoodies.
Big money, big prizes.
Mail
I
one
love
my
it.
way. Nutty Ray, Bertram Clue Scroll, and Infamous by himself had 204,373. Unreal. And just for fun, he used the 500 bonus. He had 548 achievements. 548. Only 22,000 gamer score worth. But 226,000 TA. It's absurd. Infamous. I certainly hope your name doesn't come up 8 million times in the milestones a little later.
I'm sure it won't.
That would be bad. No, definitely not.
I don't know why you would think that. There's no way.
Can't.
Congratulations to all of you G-Taskers. I wanted to really quick bring up the random to-do list.
Okay.
Last month, 6 different people got the full completion, which is a lot. Usually there's only 1 or 2 or 0. NBA Kirkland, ZZ Urban Spaceman.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, Kenny. Thank you, Vulgar. MDP 73, Retro Chief 1969, Angel SK, and High Road the 2, who basically already almost has a full combo this month, and it is only May 3rd. They added DLC in May. You can opt into DLC, so I'm excited. You should all be excited. DLC and title updates are finally available. So things like Life is Strange, only episode 1 won't show up. Anything can show up from that game, etc. So you could always curate games you don't want to see show up, like maybe Gears 4, Gears 5 with its crazy DLC and title updates, but
Seriously?
More deja vu. But thanks, as always, to ZZ Urban Spaceman for the upkeep of my favorite contest, which is not really a contest. It's just an excuse to tell me which games to play every month. But
one day he'll make it all the way through Red Dead Redemption by playing 1 achievement at a time.
Yes, there's a lot of games that fit that bill. All right, back to you, Kenny.
Well, back to you, Nate. Talk to us about the Gamertag Challenge.
Sure, we're talking about the Gamertag Challenge. What is that, you may ask? Well, that is a challenge we do where we pick a patron's gamertag and we ask everyone to go ahead and spell that, the first letter of a game's title, by earning an achievement in that game in that particular month. Simple, right? So last month, we were celebrating Ragnarok 0272. His wildcard game was Cyberpunk 2077, and his bonus was Better Know in Norse, achievements with a word related to Norse mythology. We had 38 participants. We had 333 letters earned. We had 0 wildcards.
0?
No one entered them. I know people have completed Stardew Valley or played every month, but nobody marked it down. And this is a contest based on your submissions. It would be no fun if we just automatically pulled it. You have to pick your own path for how you're spelling these things and using them. We had 3 bonuses earned. Any guesses, without looking at the sheet, who might have earned those bonuses?
I may have just looked at it.
Mental Knight, Northern Lass.
Don't all say it at one time. It's Northern Lass.
Yeah.
She is the champion of bonuses. She got 3.
I said it.
She was the only person. Only person to submit them. And our winner with a 8. Only 8 letters. Not the full 12. Sabin Rothschild.
Hey, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Nice.
So you don't need to get the full gamer tag. You
Or
can just
Northern
get some
Lass.
entries. And you could be a winner too.
You may already be a winner.
You may already be a winner. Now, for the month of May, we have picked a new patron by the name of Umplebeast. And we totally gave completely sensible clues that everyone / anyone could have gotten. There was no nonsense. His wildcard game. His wildcard game was Stardew Valley. Maybe I mixed those up. No one wants to play Cyberpunk 2077, so that's why no one put it down last month. This month, it's Stardew Valley. Let's see people put it on the sheet. Kenny will edit that out. You'll never know this happened.
I'm not editing that.
Our bonus is Ubi shutting down. And that means the way to get that bonus is to earn achievements from Ubisoft games. Going back 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I don't know how time travel works. There was that whole Ubisoft shutdown business scare. So let's go ahead. Let's prompt you to get some Ubisoft games. Uncle Beast says he loves the Ubisoft games. So why not? It's perfect synchronization, symmetry. I don't know. 1 bonus draw per achievement per game. Go for it. If you have any questions, and I know you won't, because that was clear as glass, will be you can ask them over in the channel, and I'll straighten everything out over there.
I'm sorry. Did you say 1 bonus per achievement per game?
Yes.
Okay, because
on
the
any new achievement or previous completion in Stardew Valley,
1 bonus draw per achievement.
Like I said, clear as glass. Go by the sheet. Don't listen to me.
Okay, well the doc says 1 bonus per 1 bonus draw per achievement.
Don't worry about that. Go by the sheet.
Sure. Go by the sheet.
The document may not our sheet for the podcast may not be up to date. What is on the Gamertag challenge sheet is what you should be going by. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to Kenny.
In the channel.
Just go ahead and read or look at the channel. There you go.
We will probably not really have this sorted out for you next week, to be sure. All right. Well, this being a live show, that means it is the first of the month. And with that, we have our patron drawing. And this month's winner is...
Oh, yes.
Not L. It is What the Fuck.
Oh, cool. Another old.
Congratulations, Fug. Thank you
Congrats,
for being
Fug.
a supporter of the show.
Thank you.
Welcome-matic.
And if you too want to be a patron and join in all this nonsense and get
he and his daughter are at a concert or something.
And you too want to try to get in
Open
on these
doobies.
drawings, you can do so over at patreon.com/achievementhunting101. But with that, let's get into our final segment for us. That is Brag Camp. Take it away, Devin.
All right, in completions. Luke 17,000 has reached a new milestone of 100 completed games. PRTM Clue Scroll Lock. That's what 150
Correct.
completed games. And the Mighty Mango has reached 900 completed games.
In ratio, I should have done my homework because we've got some people with a lot of ratio changes. So I'll do my best. Michael KV has a ratio of 1.3. Chesno also has a ratio of 1.3. Magic Monkey and Ross and Morbid237 and Officer Zero all tied with a 1.8. We have Nutty Ray with 1.9. We have Jimbot UK with 1.9. We have Nutty Ray again with a 2.0. We have Morbid237 once again with a 2.0. We have Survivalist with a 3.2. Then we have Infamous with the 3.9 and the 4.0. And we've got Print Manager Scroll Lock with a TA ratio of 3.8. No, it's 3.9. No, it tops out at 4.0. In streaks. Thankfully, that contest is over and we can get back to some regular ratio and ratio decay. In streaks, Fluttery Chicken is currently... No, he's not.
Next.
Johnny Delicious is on a 50-day achievement win streak. Lucas 1987 with a 100-day achievement win streak. EL Sock. It's in the sock with 650 days.
Good
Unky
man.
Tim Fu is on a 2,000-day achievement win streak. Praux, also known as Prue, 2,250 days. Mr. Gompers with 3,150. Plantain 42 with 3,200. And Mad Eye Pad Eye with the 3,350. In our annual streaks, we have Chesno, who's crossed the 1-year mark, and Fluttery Chicken has crossed the 2-year achievement win streak mark.
Nice. All right. In Gamer Score, Hurricane Dale has hit 150,000. Sincere Seeker 6 has hit 350,000. Desert Fox 0420, along with Hawkeye Berry 20, has hit 400,000. Infamous and Logic Slayer have both hit 500,000. Northern Lass and Isret is at 102, has hit 950,000. Oh man, I as well should have read these before doing this. Drunken Monkeys. Wow, it's like in that SpongeBob meme thing language. Drunken Monkeys has hit the big 1 million gamer score. Congratulations. And My New Mango has hit 1.3 million gamer score.
All right. Luckily, mine are in alphabetical order, so the homework is done for me. But I will probably not read all of these. It's too many. ASU Unknown is number 1 in the Wales Achievements Completion Percentage leaderboard. Big Al is now in the top 20 of the New York Trio Achievement leaderboard. Don't tell anybody who number 21 is. I might get beat up. WD23 is in the top 10 of the United Kingdom TA difference leaderboard. Rutarak is now in the top 20 of the Europe TA leaderboard for turn-based. Infamous has about 12 things. I'm going to read the most impressive one. He is now second on all of TA, Xbox One TA difference. That is incredible. I don't know who number 1 is, but probably me. Jimbot UK is in the top 10 TA leaderboard for bowling. I'd love to see some of these achievements you guys pulled out for G-Task. Bowling, huh? 80 Skies in the top 500 of Gamerscore leaderboard. Logic Slayer, top 200 of Florida TA leaderboard for competitive ratio. Lord of Dookie, number 1 in the Massachusetts Gamerscore leaderboard for adventure and point and click.
Nice.
Michael Cavey in the top 5 of the Slovakia TA leaderboard. Northern Last in the top 100 of the TA leaderboard for puzzle. Very nice. Our good friend Prism Break Crew Scrolls is number 5 on the entire TA ratio leaderboard. That is absurd. And number 1 in the Scotland TA ratio leaderboard. Ross, second in the Georgia TA leaderboard. Very nice. And Red 047 in the top 100 of the USA Gamerscore leaderboard. RPG Davey in the top 500 of the Gamerscore leaderboard for golf. Never call golf a dull game again. And Neo21 is a second in the California Games Played leaderboard for Vayners. All right. Now, in
Nice.
brags, wanted to quickly mention, it looks like right before we started recording, the medic achievement in Halo Infinite was fixed. So that's worth a ridiculous TA right now. Nate, do you know anything about this?
Yeah, there was a play mode that you couldn't play, and now you can.
Nate. But it's worth how much? Like
15,000?
Yeah. So a lot
there
of people.
Was one unobtainable. It's just been fixed.
So NBA Kirkland was number 10 to complete it on TA. And Killer Bees completed it. And that was his 200th completion. So very nice.
Cool.
And I got a personalized message from Catster that says, I wanted to flag this one for you to mention and add a thought. I have never thought I could have managed this achievement without joining up with the gang and realizing that I can complete some games I thought were never possible. No Man's Sky is just one of my favorite games, period, so this feels really good. So thanks to BCM for helping me find H101 and add this one to the trophy case. Yeah, so she completed No Man's Sky. That's awesome. And thank you to BCM for helping people find H101. Hopefully we found some people find BCM as well. It's better completions matter, and they have you getting good completions, not the baby games. And they draw a random game each month and do monthly different challenges. So yeah, warms my heart, Catster. You're a good lady.
So that medic achievement, it has a 610 ratio.
Yeah, tomorrow it'll be like 609.
Oh yeah, it'll only go down a point.
Yes.
Yep.
Does anyone have anything they'd like to plug?
Yeah, I have a side podcast now with me and my brother called Real to Rank Podcast. I'm not cheating. I just have other projects.
What's it called?
It's like Real to Rank Podcast. I've put it in I put a link to it in the movies and TV channel. We watch film franchises and we rank them, and it's a comedy podcast. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, check it out. I'd be interested to see what people think. We're watching Mission Impossible movies and talking about elevator spikes.
Comedy? Guess your brother must be funny.
Well,
just kidding. We love you, Devin.
We try. We attempt comedy.
Rocker would like to know if you have to see the movie before listening to the episode.
You don't have to. I mean, while it helps, it does not replace the experience of watching a movie. Though, you can watch it. You could listen to the podcast on its own. I'd be interested in hearing some takes.
Listen to it first, then watch the movie, and then listen to it on a different platform so you get 2 views.
Yeah. And download it, and then tell all of your friends, and then they'll tell all of their friends, and so on, and so on, and so on.
Yeah, it's called word of mouth, I think.
Mm-hmm. And one more time. What's it called?
Oh, the Reel to Rank podcast.
Okay.
REEL.
Go sub.
Numeral 2.
Go sub to that. All right. Well, that will do it for us this week. Thank you all for listening. If you're not with us in Twitch chat right now, something is wrong with you. Head over to Twitch.
Yeah.
Search for AH101. Follow us and give us a sub. And for those that are in chat right now, we'll be doing a ducky race here in a few minutes, and all the subs will be entered in to win a prize. If you want to send us some Twitter tweets, you can do so on the Twitter at Achievements101. You can join us in Discord, be a part of the community, discord.io/AH101. Sub to us on YouTube at Achievement Hunting 101. And last but not least, say it again, thank you all to all of our patrons that help us get through the show, keep the lights going, be able to do all this different stuff. Holy crap, a lot of people just sub. Thank you for that.
KT Echo gifted those subs, 5 of them. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you, KT.
Oh, there's something else we have to mention.
Totally a dude?
Yes, Al.
Oh.
Not that, Katie. Philip Wendell has a milestone birthday challenge, and it is to get 50 gamer score achievements.
What a weird thing to do for his 25th birthday.
Yeah. I believe there's a gift card involved. Check out the Discord for more information. Thank you, Philip Wendell. I think Kenny's going to give you a lap dance or something. It's going to be awesome.
I don't remember that being part of the deal.
We've altered the arrangement. Pray we do not alter it further.
See, now when your podcast gets to those movies, I'll listen. I'm not streaming him and Philip Wendell a lap dance. Twitch chat, what is wrong with you? All right, we need to end this show.
You got to eat a hot chip first and then do it.
Oh, God.
Run around like superhuman.
I got to try to find that
Good
hot
job,
chip.
Neo.
All right, yes. Thank you all for listening. Class is dismissed. Let's get to some ducky races.
Bye, bye, bye. It's May. That's how the song goes, right?
Something like that.
Hello, AH101. This is Neo21 here again, bringing you the Year of the Vayner April summary. So to start off, the Vayner of the month for May is Sheepo, which only has 5 completions so far. So if you want to get on the top 10, have your name up there on the list, there's still time. A slight notice to those of you who may be participating in BCM as well and have chosen the Corvo Atano, I think, is the tower that includes the Metroidvanias. I think a lot of us have chosen that one. Just a word of advice that was brought to my attention by Rocker Dude this afternoon. There have been some disagreements put forward with a few games in the Metroidvania genre, and I clarified with Iron Fist of Snuff that if the game does not include the genre tag at the end of the month, it will not count towards the BCM challenge. So a couple games that may potentially lose the tag this month are Elijah, or Aliha, however you pronounce that one. That one's in Game Pass. Flynn, which is also in Game Pass, and Recompile, which is also in Game Pass. So just be aware of that. So for May, there were a total of 36 completions, with our Vayner of the Month Trash Quest being the most completed game with 6 completions, although it also tied with a surprise release. I think it's a Ratalaika. Wild West Crops has the Metroidvania tag, and that also had 6 completions. For gamers with the most completions in the month, unsurprisingly, I Make Poop 24/7 took first with 7 completions. Alex R.D. and Awoo both tied for second place with 6 completions, and J-Huns in third or fourth, depending on how you count ties, with 4 completions. And in Trash Quest, I kind of mentioned this last month, but there was only 1 completion before the beginning of April, but now there are 8, and 7 of those came from our group. So on the site completions, in third place was I Make Poop, fourth was Awoo, 5th was J-Huns, 6th was Alex R.D., 7th was Casual Exile, and 8th was Ben L72. Special shout out to Alex R.D. The game Imp of the Sun gained the Metroidvania tag this month, which the game came out in March, and as of time of recording, Alex R.D. is the one and only person on the site to have completed it. And another fun shout out, after 4 months, Casual Exile is the one and only one who has completed all 4 Vayners of the Month during that month, and he also retains his 100% completion in all Metroidvania games that he has played. So, for the scores, in first place with, for TA earned in the month, in first place, unsurprisingly, I Make Poop 24/7 with 16,691. Second place, Alex R.D. with 12,559, and Awoo in third with 12,307. For gamer score earned, unsurprising, again, I Make Poop 24/7 with 8,070, Awoo in second place with 5,535, and Alex R.D. with 4,390. And lastly, achievements earned, I Make Poop 24/7 with 234, Alex R.D. with 177, Awoo with 138, and then just behind that in fourth place was J-Huns with 131. So that does it for the April wrap-up. I will talk to you guys in a month to bring you May's stats.
Hello, I'm Wakapeil, and happy fun time is over. For now. I produced almost 200 pieces of content for AH101 for as many weeks straight, and I'm sad to say my streak won't last for long. I want to thank everyone who has encouraged me to do them, as I've had plenty of fun making them. For those who didn't like them, I really don't have anything to say. Sadly, the current chapter of my life is ending, and it is pitch black. I've never experienced emotions strong enough to physically hurt me before, and I am exhausted by sadness. I feel even worse than I felt 7 years ago when I was told I might only have 5 years left to live. I overcame that unpleasantness and have no intention of succumbing to my affliction for decades, even if I'm permanently scarred by it. Gaming has been a part of my life for decades, a hobby never understood by those closest to me. To them, it was a waste of time, a precious resource of which I've tried to make the most of, straining myself thin for the longest time in all the things I do. I am a devourer and creator of useless things, unbothered by the reality around me. Now, reality has hit me hard, and I'm confronted by choices I would rather not make. I could be a coward and give up, run away, or worse, as my mind suggested during my darkest time, but that is not going to happen. I'm going to do what I always fall back to. I'm going to solve the problem, inside or outside of the box. The desired outcome is no longer possible, but my twisted imagination will find a way out of my current state of despair. I realize this is not what you expected to hear, and not at all what I expected to say when starting the segment, and I do not yet know how I feel about this extremely weird and public form of self-therapy. This has been a very roundabout way of saying I'll be back with the regularly scheduled programming, just not as frequent as before. Have a nice day, everyone, and take care of those close to you.